change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today.
All right, good morning. You are tuned into 1100 WSGI, and this is Lee Marie in for U-Turn Laverne on One Street Over. And we're going to start with a prayer, and I actually posted a prayer on my Facebook page, so if you go to Lee Marie, just 2 words, and you can read along with me if you would like to. So this is a prayer for today. Heavenly Father, thank you for the gift of this new day. Please fill our minds with peace, our hearts with courage, and our words with kindness. Please guide our decisions, strengthen us through our challenges, and help us walk with wisdom and grace. Let us be a source of encouragement and blessing to others today. Thank you for your angels of protection over us, our homes, and our loved ones. Thank you for opening doors that are meant for us and for giving us patience for the things still unfolding. We cancel all of the enemy's assignments on us. No evil formed against us shall prosper. May we not be ruled by fear, distraction, or frustration, but by faith, clarity, and purpose to align with your perfect will. Remind us that your mercy is new every morning and that you are with us. Please bless this day, May 26, with favor, productivity, your joy, and peace that passes all understanding. And please take this show where you want it to go. In the mighty and matchless name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus. Amen. All right.
Amen.
Good morning, Miss Rhonda Rastelli. I have Rhonda Rastelli here, one of my favorite guests. I always love talking with Rhonda. She just is just a breath of fresh air. So good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for the invite.
And, it's funny because I never know what God has in store, and I was actually driving in today, and it's so funny because, Laverne asked me to fill in for her, and I never know who the guest that God is going to choose. And I actually had another guest lined up for 7:30, and she became ill late last night. And there was a little bit of time for me to call and text a few people, but I was getting no's every time. So I was like, okay, Lord, you have a plan, and I'm clearly not, knocking on the right door. Because whenever he does that, sometimes I go through a whole bunch of people, and it's because, he had a message, he had a messenger. So, like I said, take this show where you want it to go, Lord, because he is in control. And, when I turned on WSGI this morning, because I was like, okay, well, should I pray or should I put on music? And I just kind of felt the Lord say, well, I'm going to speak to you through this next song. So I'm like, all right. So I put it on, and, it was just about he's in control, and that's just such a relief, especially for, us control type freaks. I'm going to say it,
No idea what you're talking about, Lena.
So, that's just a great reminder, don't stress. He's got this.
He's got this.
How do we think that we're so big that, he created the universe, he created us, he created everything, and, we think that we're in control.
We can disrupt his actual...
Yeah, we're not that big, guys.
Actual plan.
That's right. But anyways, I know Rhonda always gets some great messages from the Lord, and so... Rhonda Rastelli, why don't you go ahead and tell them what your title is and all that, because I know you'll do a much better job at that.
So I'm a fairly freshly minted psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. I've been a nurse for a very, very long time and have always prioritized the mental and emotional well-being of my patients best that I could. I certainly see mental and emotional health as necessary to be, if you will, treated or included in what we do for ourselves and certainly in the health profession as our, physical needs, certainly through the years. There's been a lot of stigma attached to, acknowledging maybe a mental health or an emotional health need. I am delighted to be here, though we're at the tail end of May. May is, in fact, Mental Health Awareness Month. And I sort of, pondered some thoughts about what would I really want to have people come away with. And mental health is more than a diagnosis of a problem. Your mental health is also your generalized sense of well-being, your coping skills, what your stress level runs at on a 24/7 kind of basis. And the important thing that I guess I would want listeners to remember is that, reaching out for help is not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of strength. And we are certainly moving toward an acceptance of someone's antidepressant like we accept their blood pressure pill, but we are not there yet. And so I just encourage people to know that that's the case. However, there are those of us in the industry waiting and wanting to really meet people where they are with more of the mental and emotional needs that they have. I also have a very strong, I'm not going to say platform, but my business name is Mind Renewal, and I very much believe that one's spiritual health is core to their mental and emotional health. So I quote Romans 12:2 about renewing one's mind to be, transforming one's mind through renewal, and the key that can be. And it's often not something one can do on their own. It's the old adage of it takes a village. That's not just about child rearing. That really is about general wellness and specifically mental and emotional wellness.
Very good. And I just I'm so glad that we got you in before
No,
May
me
was
too.
over.
Like you called last night or texted, and I'm like, all right, Lord, this is you, because it's been on my mind. It's been something I've wanted to talk about in some social platform setting, and so I appreciate you very much.
So Mental Health Awareness Month, May. Okay. Because I always just assume, I know that there's a lot of, months that are affiliated with each one. Like I know what I always think of May is Military Appreciation Month, because there's
Memorial
just
Day
so
and-
many, Armed Forces Day and, Gold Star. There's so many, but I did not realize. And so I'm so glad you brought that up, because it is something that we need to talk about.
Yes.
And I'm glad that, more people are able to kind of realize, the importance of that, and the more people that I listen to, because I love listening to, some of the people about trauma, and different things like that, the counselors. And, the one thing I'm seeing is that, we all had some type of trauma, in our life. And people, a lot of people think that they were the only ones who went through that, or, only person that went through something that bad, that kind of thing. The longer I'm on this earth, the more I realize that, a lot of people actually had it way worse. And a lot of people had situations that they think they were the only one, and they aren't.
You see both extremes, where people feel very isolated and alone in their experience, but then you also have those who work very hard to normalize what happened with a sense of, well, it wasn't as bad as, so-and-so situation. And really the truth is we come to life a very unique package of, physical, mental, emotional, family of origin, life circumstance, a collection of those. And the great thing about our Lord is that He knows from whence we come, and He's got a plan, and He really does equip us with the ability to not just understand. It's not just academically understanding what happened and how it impacted us, but ultimately the healing. And then that becomes a part of our if you will, our testimony, but it becomes a part of our journey. It's very important to remember that anxiety, depression, grief, trauma, burnout, loneliness are, like you said, incredibly common. Many people suffer in silence because they fear judgment. Early support can often prevent worsening symptoms and mental health. And again, that idea that, not just am I diagnosed with something, but literally my sense of well-being mentally and emotionally, it affects our sleep, our relationships, our work, our physical health, and certainly our quality of life. And we don't have to wait until we're falling apart or someone is falling apart to support mental health. Prevention and connection matter so much.
And you mentioned sleep, and it's just everything just snowballs from that, because I am blessed in that I have never had a problem sleeping. Now it kind of goes the other way, because if I'm sitting in a car,
You're out.
But anyways, I won't go there. But anyway, so I think I can probably count on my hand maybe 5 times in my entire life that I haven't been able to sleep. And I know that that's very rare, because the more people I talk to, some people I talk to say, I have never had a good night's sleep, or I haven't had a good night's sleep in 45 years, or something like that.
And it's a pillar.
And like one day about, 3 months ago, I didn't have enough sleep. And I was like, the next day I was like, oh my God.
Is this what it's like?
This is what it's like. It affects everything.
The bulk of us are running on about a quarter tank low on sleep at all times. And for many, it's actually even less than that.
And our health, suffers from that, not just our mental health, but our physical health. But then our physical health affects our mental health. So it's just this. So you guys, you got to make sure you get enough sleep.
You have to prioritize it. Yeah. It doesn't just happen. It's not easy to stop that last chat, that last screen interaction. But even 30 minutes, even if you backed up your sleep time 30 minutes, it will show payoff in your day the next day, but certainly in the long run.
And that's a great message. And I know some people needed to hear that, because some people are just like, go, go, go. I got to get more done. I got to do this. I got to do that. And it's like, no, you got to sleep.
Yep.
And there's a reason why we have that reset and that break fast.
The brain does wonderful things while you're sleeping. It cleans itself up. It processes things in ways that it didn't while you were awake. It's really, we think of it as optional at some level, and it's not.
Right.
It's not an option.
And then the physical, and that's one thing that I've been learning about recently, now that we've improved our diet quite a bit, is that, your physical body, when you are sleeping, that is when it's going to repair those bad things. And that's really important why, you want to have a lot of time before you go to sleep that you haven't eaten, so that your body does not have to work on digestion. It just works on getting rid of the bad stuff, and I hear some people say, well, I hear that if you don't eat all the time, your body will start eating itself. Yeah, but you know what? It starts eating the bad stuff. So we are not supposed to be eating constantly.
We were physically not built to graze. We were not.
So that's another good little tip. I love giving I love little tips. My attention span is great with that. That's why Proverbs is my favorite book of the Bible. It's like, come on, give it to me in one sentence.
Get in there and get it.
Yeah, but anyways, so that's great advice and just reminders. And like, I'm one of those people that I love little reminders, and I love reminders. Why? Like, it's one thing if someone says get more sleep or don't eat bread or whatever it is, but if they say, well, it's sprayed with glyphosate and that's poison, I need to hear the reasons behind everything, because that just really inspires me.
Forces the acceptance and the buy-in.
Yeah. And I know that sounds, obvious, but for me, I just, that extra information is helpful. So some of you out there that I know that you need to, be taking better care of yourselves physically or mentally, this is your kind of your nudge, right? Or your inspiration, hopefully.
We all need an opportunity to step aside and kind of look at our lives from that 30,000 foot perspective, flying overhead, and identify places where baby steps, and I do, very much encourage it in a baby step kind of way. It's very easy to set a new game plan for Monday morning, and then by Tuesday it's just gone. So we baby step it. I want to talk about an organization that kind of very much is a support of that idea that people need people. We don't heal in a vacuum. There's an organization called NAMI, N-A-M-I, stands for the National Alliance on Mental Illness. There are meetings held both locally, statewide, nationwide, but then also some have recently brought a virtual meeting to be, and I just think that's fabulous. There are a lot of people that getting into a place, weekly is just not going to happen, but courtesy of technology, that's a little more doable. They offer free education, peer support groups, crisis resources, advocacy, community programs, youth and campus initiatives, and I think, as you said a little bit earlier, one of the most healing things is for people to discover that they are not alone. And this also targets, if you will, or offers support to the families of those whose maybe mental health at that particular time in their journey is requiring that extra attention, that extra time, that extra focus. So it's both for those maybe with challenges in their mental health, but it's also for those family members. And sometimes a meeting is mixed, and sometimes a meeting is really family with family to kind of be a support and encouragement and troubleshoot, kind of with each other. But it is a wonderful organization that I really want to stress the value of on especially this Mental Health Awareness Month.
So Laverne is going to be calling in just a couple minutes, but I want to be able to give them what's the information or the website or how do they?
NAMI. If you went to Google and typed that in all caps, it will bring up the NAMI.org.
So that's N as in Nancy.
A. M as in Mary. I.
I as in igloo. All right. And it's .com? .org?
Yes.
One of those.
.org.
Okay, .org. Okay, very good information. And so, yes, we're going to have U-Turn Laverne's going to call in a couple minutes here. So we'll just kind of not go on to a big topic before then. Okay. But that is sounds like a great organization, and they have a local chapter as well. Yes. And are those meetings that people can go to here in Robertson County?
Currently, they are, I believe the ones for Robertson County would be virtual.
Okay.
The fourth Tuesday, I believe, of every month, and then also the fourth Thursday in the middle of the day. So I think that's really special that they offer two different, time frames. But if you have a way that I can link information for your listeners, I will be happy to supply that.
Yeah, that'd be great. You can go to matter of fact, this is a great segue for this, y'all that are maybe listening on the radio. We do have an app, and we also are on Facebook and YouTube. So right now, if you go onto Facebook to WSGI, you can bring up the show. And so far, we have one comment in there. Paul Rainey says, good morning. Good morning, Paul. But what you can do, Rhonda, is for that comment section, you can go ahead and put it in the website there so that people can refer back to that. That's great. I will do that. And those of you that don't have WSGI on your phones yet, why not? It's so good, especially when you're cruising along and you hear a great song. You're like, who is this? If you hit that phone app, it will tell you who that artist is. And I love that. And then I just screenshot that. And then I know, who that is. But because I know Brother T's got some great concerts planned. So remind me to bring those up later. But I heard that the Tribute Quartet is coming back, and Mark Trammell too. So anyways, but yeah, so WSGI, the ways you can watch it, of course, Facebook, which a lot of people do that. And you just go to WSGI for that. But also on YouTube, because not everybody has Facebook. So we do have a YouTube link. And I always say, if you're going to share something, especially something like this that really isn't time sensitive, share the YouTube link, because that one doesn't expire. Facebook links expire, live links expire in 30 days. So it's better to share the YouTube link. Okay. And then also, of course, we do have the phone app, which is for both iPhones and Android, and it's just WSGI. And then, like I said, that one you can't watch the show, but you can listen to it, and you can also listen 24/7. So the radio signal will go down at night, oftentimes, but the phone app still plays the music, which is great. And if those of you that haven't really tuned into what the music is, not too long ago, we changed over to good old gospel. So we don't have to play all of just the top 40 gospel songs that a lot of the stations do,
Classics.
which I love those stations too. I always like to try to have Christian music on wherever I go, because I just, got to have the word fill in the atmosphere. But if you're looking for, some maybe alternative stuff, you're looking for some of your friends, some of your local people, WSGI is awesome for that, because you will hear a lot of great stuff. So anyways, but it is 7:22, and let's see. We don't have a phone call yet, so we will keep going until we do. Okay. Because maybe there could be something wrong with the phone lines or what have you. So what is next on your schedule?
I'm considering or exploring a very sensitive topic that has emerged actually among my client base, and that is parents who have estrangement from adult children. And it is a particularly painful grief process. There's not really a funeral. There's not anything formal. And yet the loss and the sadness is profound. It can be accompanied by shame, confusion, and a sense of isolation. And parents sometimes feel unable to openly talk about it, or don't want to, again, because maybe they fear judgment, or have that sense of other people won't understand. So it's often treated as a silent grief. The deep loss persists even if there wasn't a sense of there wasn't a viewing, there wasn't a visitation, there wasn't a funeral, but there is still that very profound sense of loss and grief. And so we would focus on healing, boundaries, communication, self-care, support systems, and parents can benefit from learning those boundaries, helping to manage their guilt and grief, again with that idea that the shared experience can bring a sense of peace and strength, and a little bit of, hey, what works for you, but certainly an opportunity to maybe create a relationship or a friendship out of something that is shared that otherwise wouldn't be possible. And even if reconciliation does not occur, though it is obviously possible, healing for that parent is still possible.
I love that. Very good. Excellent. So if we don't get Laverne on the phone, I'll just go ahead and read the ads because I have them. So let's go ahead and let's just put the camera on here. Here we go. What I want to tell you about first is Valor Mortgage. And we believe every home buyer, they believe every home buyer is buying a home is one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. So why settle for a lender who treats you just like a number? At Valor Mortgage, they believe every home buyer deserves a team in their corner. So Chris Armentrout and the experienced loan officers at Valor work extra hard to find the right mortgage solution for your life, your budget, and your goals, from VA loans and FHA options to conventional and jumbo financing. So they have the tools to get you to the closing table. They're not just in the business of mortgages, they're also in the business of making home ownership possible. So whether you're buying your first home, refinancing, or investing in your future, Valor Mortgage is ready to serve. You can call them at 615-671-9178. That's 615-671-9178, or go to valor.mortgage to get pre-approved today, because when it matters most, you deserve a lender you can trust. Buy with confidence, buy with Valor. Valor Mortgage, NMLS number 1210804, DBA of Encore Lending Group, NMLS 1249911, equal housing lender, subject to credit approval, rates and terms subject to change without notice, not a commitment to lend. So there you go. All right, we are in the studio with Rhonda Rastelli, who is one of our local mental health experts. And I love that she had, how many years were you just a regular nurse? A lot.
Many.
Many. She has a great amount of experience being just a nurse. And I shouldn't say just a nurse because that's like, oh my goodness.
Nursing is unique.
Yes.
Yes.
But then now she is a psychiatric nurse practitioner as well, and also being a strong Christian, which is so awesome because you get to come at these issues from all angles, and I think that is so important. It's crucial, and there's not a lot of people out there doing that. For whatever reason that they can't.
Some are literally legally inhibited to do so. Some, I think, in my mind, were I a different type of provider, it would be a big question mark that would hang over like every session, like was I or was I not, and so err to the side of, let's not get in trouble.
Right.
So
right.
I am profoundly grateful that I have the ability to just speak openly about people's journey in their mental health, as far as where they have been spiritually, where they are. For some, we open and close in a word of prayer. Mm-hmm. For others, their walk is not there. Mm-hmm. But the Lord, I'm just so grateful I can pray for them before a session, between sessions. And I know if and when He opens a door, I pray for the courage to walk through it and share with people in a way that is meaningful to them for literally their eternity. Bless you, Lee Marie.
Thank you.
Yeah. I want to, if I could add something about the Robertson County Health Council meets monthly, and out of that council, there's a committee that is devoted to expanding awareness of mental health in Robertson County, and they are teaming up with another committee, and together in September, which it becomes Suicide Awareness Month, they are putting together a 5K. And I just want to give it a little bit of description, if I could. It's going to be the 12th of September here in Springfield. The slogan is, whether you walk it or run it, just keep going.
I like that.
I really appreciate that. The event features an entry fee of $12.79 because, sadly, that is the number of people lost to suicide in Tennessee in that previous year. So it's a unique number, but in that way it recognizes and remembers and calls to light that struggle. Companion piece of information that I share with my clients in their first appointment. I remind them every appointment. The crisis hotline is 988. And I absolutely love it because you can call like you can 911, but you don't have to be in crisis. You can text the number, and we have become very, in fact, some people will say, hey, text me first and see if I can take your call. So we are a very text mindful society now to a large extent. So the fact that you can text someone and begin to talk to them, it's not an automatic send, the police to your door, make you go to the ER. I yesterday talked to a client of mine who reached out to 988 in the past week, and he could not say enough good about the experience, about the perspective that operator had, how encouraging she was, thorough, but what a positive overall experience it was for him. So I want to make sure that people know that for themselves, that they share it with employees, coworkers, friends, and families, because it is not like I said, it's not that necessarily crisis place that you land at, but anything that you're just in a quandary, or a family member. What do I do next? How can I help this person? So I just wanted to make sure that I gave a shout out for 988 for emotional distress, panic attacks, severe anxiety, substance abuse crises, grief overwhelm, certainly thoughts of self-harm, and supporting A loved one in crisis.
A loved one in crisis, and guess who shows up at the door? Come on in.
My loved one. So now I'm in crisis.
You can roll in a chair if you want, Gare.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, staying for a couple minutes. Well, what a great surprise. Just when she said loved one in crisis, and I looked up and I see Gary's face. I'm going to give you this microphone. Go ahead, Ron. Say something.
Yeah, go ahead. Say something.
Say something.
Get my microphone ready.
You, again, to reiterate, you do not have to be actively suicidal to call 988. If you're overwhelmed and literally don't know what to do next, that's enough. The other really neat thing is you can do a chat. You can go online to 988chat.org and you can chat with an agent. And sometimes that level of impersonal contact is what you need first to kind of get things started. A lot of us would be more comfortable doing that than maybe picking up the phone and having that phone call.
All right. Well, I do want to acknowledge our surprise guest,
Yay, who?
Gary Rastelli. So speaking of if you need to chat to people, both of these people are so wonderful to chat with. I love chatting with both of them. But anyways, I know you're in a hurry, so you have a couple minutes.
Yeah. I just want to say hi to everybody out there. And I was listening to my lovely wife on the radio, Rhonda, and I got to thinking, I said, man, I'm at the, I'm doing something that not a whole lot of other people can do. I was picking up a mower with a dead battery, and so I'm hooking up the jump pack and trying to rig it so I can drive it up onto the trailer and stuff. So then I said, well, we're both kind of at the peak of our game, Rhonda with the mental health and me with the lawnmower repair and stuff. So we kind of honor God by what we are trained to do, and with our work, no matter what it is that anybody does, you can just choose to glorify God through what you do every day.
That is an excellent point. And it's so nice, too, for you to come and support your wife,
Yeah.
I've been talking about lately how in Robertson County, there's just not a lot of good marriage ministry stuff happening. And we want to change that. We want to add some of that to the well in the near future. And I know you guys are just such an amazing couple that I'd love for you all to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So,
But if you got one question you can ask me, and then I gotta go.
Gosh.
oh my goodness.
Almost anything.
Oh, one question. Well, I just, I think what I would say is, what did the Lord put on your heart to say?
Well, pretty much just what I just did say, but this is the only day that we get to do this day, so we can. There's always forks in the road and make the right decision, the wrong decision, and stuff. But if we choose to walk in the direction of God, He meets us there, and that's where He wants us to be in fellowship with Him.
I love that. And just so you all know, in case somebody out there doesn't know who Gary Rastelli is, he owns Ridgetop Mower of Springfield, which is right in between Ace and Baldwin's Barbecue.
Right.
And what are your hours over there?
8 to 5, Monday through Friday, 8 till 12 on Saturday.
Okay, and even though it's pouring rain, cats and dogs today, you're still working, right?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah, we needed the rain. The mowers stopped coming in because of the lack of rain, and now they're not coming in as fast, because of the rain. But pretty soon, people are going to be mowing again because the grass is going to be growing.
That's right.
It's pennies from heaven.
That's right. You guys are going to blink, and your lawn will be 1 foot taller in 2 days. All right. Thanks so much for stopping in. You can roll the chair out with you. You can take the chair with you. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks for stopping in. I love surprise guests. All right. Gary Rastelli is Rhonda's husband, and they both do live in the city of Springfield. So great to have this amazing couple here. All right. I'm going to let you talk while I switch over my mic. So go ahead and take off where you just left off.
Okay. I'll give a shout out for Mind Renewal. That's my business. I see people virtually, but I also see them at 600 Main Street here in Springfield. Mind-renewal.com is the website, so you can actually book there and read a little bit more about what services are available.
So that's great. They can go right to the website
Right to the
and see
website,
what times
see
you
what-
have available.
Yep, booking available.
I love that.
Yep.
Because sometimes, things hit you like at 3 a.m. and you're like, I really need, such and such. And
Yes.
so to be able to go to a website, right when you're thinking of it
And it gives you sometimes that sense of hope.
right.
Yep.
That help is on the way. You've got an appointment scheduled and
Yep.
you're good.
Yep.
And a lot of you out there, you may feel hopeless right now. And you know what? You don't have to. There are resources like Rhonda here.
resources,
So
yeah.
again, give that website.
mind-renewal.com.
Okay, mind-renewal.com. Very good. Excellent. And then is there a phone number as well?
Yes.
Okay, what is that?
615-266-3024.
One more time.
615-266-3024.
Okay. Now, if there's some family members out there listening right now, and maybe they have someone in their family that could use you, what are some of the more typical things that you have really great experience and great success with helping people?
It is a surprise to me that I am encountering as many. I mean, I of course learned about it in school, but when you see it play out in your practice, it just really drives the point home. But I have a lot of adult women, perimenopausal, and we explore a little bit about their childhood, academic experience, their home situation, and ADHD newly diagnosed in that age group is not uncommon. There is an impact, and they're doing, of course, all of the science and the studies and the research and getting all the numbers together, but hormonal changes at that time in life can take a person's coping workarounds that they've utilized their entire lives and just put them on end such that life kind of feels like it fell apart. So that is been a very interesting observation just in my year and a half in practice at how profoundly affected people can be by that, and how proper treatment really can help. So that's been a biggie. And then, the anxiety and depression. 1 in 5 Americans suffer, and the number is actually increasing, not decreasing. So that is a big component. Certainly coping techniques on what to do when a panic attack comes over you, and then medication stable. Medicine is a tool. There are some people that I believe will be on medicine their whole lives. It's like glasses for their brain. There are some that need it for just a season. There are some who don't need it. Every case is individual. There are no generalizations that cover all situations, but I personally believe that medicine is a tool used usually to get a person to a place of readiness to go that layer deeper with understanding the why and beginning to do that level of healing.
Very good. All right. Well, it is already 20 till. I cannot believe that. And so I do want to mention one of our other sponsors that makes this show possible, and that is Barry and Rebecca Richards. And they now have Brandy Hastings has also joined their Exit Prime Realty team. They are your team for buying or selling, and even if you want to be a realtor, they are the team to help get you started. So if you're buying a home, the first thing you have to do is get pre-qualified. And if you are selling a home, the first thing you need to do is get the free market analysis. So Exit Prime can help you with all of this, and they will ensure you that you price your home and your property in a competitive way. So make sure that you get a hold of them. Rebecca was one of the first in the area to be a senior real estate specialist. She's specifically trained to help you downsize if that's the right time. And they also specialize in Robertson County, but they can also buy and sell in other areas, just like in Kentucky, and not all realtors can. So they are the experts you need no matter what your real estate needs are. So you can find them with a quick Google search, or you can go to sellwithbecky.com, and that's sellwithbecky, BECKY.com, or you can go to buyrobertsoncounty.com, buyrobertsoncounty.com, or you can always call them at 615-504-7425. That's 615-504-7425. And so that is it for our sponsors. Thank you, sponsors, so much. I also want to do a shout out. We had a special birthday yesterday on Memorial Day. And that was Brother T, who he's the one that helps out here by putting all the beautiful songs on our playlist. He also brings super cool groups to Robertson County. And so I have to tell you about one that he's bringing on July 2nd, because that's not too far away. Mark Trammell Quartet. I have seen them. They are fabulous. I highly recommend you go. Did you go to that one?
Did not.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be at Ebenezer, my favorite place to see the shows that T does. So Ebenezer Baptist Church is just right here in Greenbrier, just past those railroad tracks, so easy to find. So that is going to be on Thursday night, July 2nd, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And you can find out about this as well as other concerts that he is bringing to town if you go to American Top Gospel, and that is his Facebook page. And also, you might as well send him a happy birthday, Brother T, message, because that is, yes, that was yesterday, but we weren't here. So, I wasn't here. And I do want to say thank you for everybody that came out to the Memorial Day observations. I'm so glad that we had a really great turnout this yesterday morning at the Austin Bell in Greenbrier. We do that every single Memorial Day at 9 a.m. And so I was so pleased when I pulled up and the parking lot was full. I thought, that's great. And then at 10:30, they had a big Memorial Day ceremony in the city of White House at the gym. And so I'm just really glad, more and more people are starting to get educated about the difference between Memorial and just Veterans Day, and so we really have to reflect on the fallen, those people that gave their lives for us on the battlefield and such, because we would not have any of these freedoms. We would not be the best nation in the world if it were not for these brave men and women who went before us and who gave their lives for us. So we're forever grateful to them, and I'm just glad that I did get to go yesterday. And the American Legion Post 45 did that ceremony, and they did a fantastic job at it. So good job, Terry Wilson and crew. And but we are back in the studio. We got 15 minutes left. Time did fly, Rhonda. I'm with Rhonda Rastelli, a psychiatric nurse practitioner, and also RN. And she is meeting with people not only in person, but also does telehealth. Mm-hmm. So have you talked about the telehealth services yet that you provide?
So telehealth is very unique in maybe the mental health world. Certainly the assessments can be done and are done by talking, not, listening with a stethoscope. So it actually lends itself very uniquely and very well to this type of care. I do open with a new patient by asking them if I got worried about you during a visit, or I didn't hear from you for a follow-up appointment and that wasn't like you, who is your contact person that I have permission to reach out to specifically and say, hey, could somebody, because a lot of my clients are actually in, East or West Tennessee. So that is is a challenge. I can't, there's no, therapeutic touch, like, a handhold or an encouragement. So that's sort of a unique piece of telehealth. But by the same token, if I know that I can reach someone in their life to go and be that, maybe that hand of encouragement, those eyes of assessment for a crisis, then I feel a lot more confident. So that is part of my intake appointment.
And I love that that mode of doing right off, straight off. Is there a number that I can have? I mean, we should all be doing that anyway when we are talking with friends, that are maybe in a crisis or, somewhat of a crisis, because
or distant, and you just physically can't get there, and maybe a well care visit by the sheriff is not, what's indicated. Mm-hmm. So that's a very important part of my intake.
I like that. And yesterday at the American Legion ceremony, Commander Terry Wilson, actually brought up a thing about be the one. And he said, be the one that makes that extra call to your
Love
neighbor,
it.
be the one, because you don't know who is just right on the edge. And it usually isn't the person that looks like they are.
That's the truth.
That's one thing that has just blown me away sometimes when I've heard of some suicides and
Yep.
different things. One lady that I'm thinking of right now that was a real big person in the community that I was shocked.
Yep.
And nobody saw it coming. So, be kind, guys. You have no idea.
It's not always the stereotypical, giving my things away and I get, happy after being sad for a prolonged period. Those things can happen, but that is not always. There is a level of impulsiveness in suicide that is just now being recognized and understood maybe a little better. And it is that makes it so, like you said, sometimes the person you would have last maybe expected or thought. And I'm glad you brought up what Commander, is it Wilson?
Terry Wilson.
Shared, because for today, a takeaway, my hope is that listeners check on each other and have, some honest conversations about mental health and to know that help is available.
I love that. Yes, be the one. And you don't know, and be kind, even if, I see you're in the store or whatever, maybe, the clerk is not being as efficient as you would hope or whatever that is. Like, sometimes we can get snarly about that. We can get, impatient and all that, but don't, just give them some grace, because people gave you grace at one point. You weren't always wonderful. I hate to tell you. But, I just think of one time when I was in the market and I was pushing my cart and I went by the apple slices and I lost it. I just started crying because my mom, before she passed away, one of her favorite things to eat were apple slices. And you don't know. Somebody might be on that apple slice moment, and don't push them.
Yeah.
So you have no idea what can trigger, someone. So be gracious, pray for those people. If they're, somebody recently had a terrible situation with a clerk, and I just said, you know what, you need to pray hard for that person because they clearly are going through a lot, and you don't know, they might have, I'm not a mom. And so I tell you, parents, if you have even one child, like I want to give you extra, patience, because it's hard enough to keep, 3 dogs and a husband alive.
God bless teachers.
Oh, and teachers. Yes, teachers.
Teachers. I was at a graduation this weekend, and the it was 2 sisters. It was a beautiful, beautiful event, but she is going into special education in the Robertson County system. And I'm like, really praise God for you, for your gifting. I couldn't do school a day I couldn't. It's not me. It's not mine. And thank you, Lord, that there are those that can and do.
Have that calling, yes. And speaking of special ed, because I just had some special ed teachers text me last night. We are, and not that this is a special ed thing, but they texted me about our upcoming sign language class at the Well. And so I wanted to let everybody know that we are going to be starting a new series, and it's going to be on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. because we heard from the workers in town that said we have customers coming in that are signing, and we want to be able to communicate. Great. Yes. So we have several vendors right there on Main Street that are going to start taking it. It's going to be starting on June 9th. And it'll go through July 21st. It's a 7-week series. It's only $59 because we know not everyone will be able to go to all 7. I mean, the chances of having 7, Tuesday nights at 6 o'clock available are just, it's small. So we're keeping the price low. And so it is going to be capped off. So if you are interested in taking American Sign Language, make sure you go to Well in the Square Facebook page. And there's all the links there. There's a link to the textbook that Alana is using. And Alana is awesome. She is the official interpreter at the school district. Mm-hmm. And many of you know her from Springfield Baptist and also from the library. I used to work with her at the library. She is a wonderful sign language teacher. And what's really cool is our community of signers is growing now in Springfield, because of her. So The last class she did had almost 20 in it, and most of those are coming back. So this is another beginning series because they said, you know what? Half the class was like, I got to have this again. The other half, they already knew a lot coming in anyway, and they just want to be a part of the community because they're going to, their level is still going to grow just having people. Plus, we're going to tell the people, if you are advanced and you're in the class, why don't you come early and meet with some other students and just sign? Yep. Because that's
Knowing
great.
the signs is not the same as, same with Spanish. You can know all the vocabulary, but if you're not actually speaking it, it's just not the same. You're not actually communicating.
And you're not as fluid and all that. And I know you knew some before you had started the class too.
Yes.
So a lot of people did. There's all different levels. So again, American Sign Language at the Well in the Square, which is inside Crossroads Christian Bookstore. And we actually, today at 1:00, we are going to be working on the catalog for June and July. And we're going to be passing that out at the First Friday Market, which is the first Friday of June. I think it's the 5th. Yes, the 5th. So we will have a trifold there with dates and times and new classes that are going to be, matter of fact, our cell phone class is going to be starting, that is 4 Thursday mornings in June, 9:30 to 10:45. You can learn how to get comfortable with your cell phone. So all of us have things on our phone.
I can't wait.
I know that we're like, I don't know what to do. I think I just deleted all my contacts, and you have that that fear in you, like you've lost your universe, right? Well, Nick is an expert at cell phones. And so whether you have an iPhone or an Android, you can come to this class. It is going to be, like I said, Thursdays in June, every Thursday in June, 9:30 a.m. to 10:45. It's $99 for the whole series. He is keeping it small. He's capping it at 15 people so that there is always time to troubleshoot individual problems because
That's where
that's worth it right there.
My particular phone is
But we have a sewing series starting in July. I'm doing a wedding boot camp for your first dance. I'm doing that June 19th on a Friday night. And even if you're married, you can still come to that and just learn some cool moves. You can just say you're getting married.
Love it. We have a wedding coming up, so
there you
daughter is
go.
getting married in September. So
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very cool. So lots of things coming up. Also, Sunday Morning Country. I got to tell you guys about this because it's so fun to go to the Opry, and this is going to be at the Opry, and it is a yearly event that happens the Sunday after the CMAs every year. And I know they've been doing it for decades. I'm trying to see if I know exactly which one. Okay, 41st annual. I think this is the 41st annual Sunday Morning Country, but it is the 100th anniversary of the Opry. So that's pretty cool. I know they're going to do something special for that too. So a ton of artists are going to be there. And the Opry tickets are usually like $80, which I think they are if you go to opry.com. But I did hear that some of the performers can get a discount ticket. So if you know somebody in the show, you might be able to still get a discount ticket. I don't know if those are left or not, but just worth saying there. But even if you don't, $80 is still totally worth it because it starts at like 3:30 and it goes to like 6:30. And it's all gospel music. And it's, although they have a portion of patriotic, which, it's just so inspirational. The first year I went, I was with my family, and we were just like blown away. Like, how did we not know about this? So now y'all know about this. Sunday Morning Country, and I have the post on my Facebook page, and Brother T's got it on his page too, because I know he's going. So that's just something to check out. It's a great family event, and to be able to go to the Opry, which is so fun. So anyways, but tomorrow is the Go Show, and that is when I'm regularly here. So if some of you are like waking up and you're hearing the Lee Marie voice, you're like, oh my gosh, it's Wednesday.
I slept through.
Yeah.
I slept through Tuesday.
Oh no, they had some appointment, some important thing on Tuesday. I'm like, no, don't worry. You did not sleep through Tuesday. This is Tuesday. Tomorrow I will be back with calendar items, and we are also having some special guests tomorrow. I know we're having a VBS specialist come on because a ton of VBSs are starting, and we do have another person coming on, and I will have to look in my phone to see who that is. But anyways, Rhonda Rastelli, give them your information one more time because I know some people are like, they tuned in late and they want to get a hold of you. So.
All right, I appreciate that. So I have a website. It's mind-renewal.com. Phone number 615-266-3024. And I see clients at Well in the Square at 600 Main Street. So there's identifying or contact information actually in the window there as well, if that's an easier place to capture that information.
Very good. Excellent. So yes, so tomorrow we have Betty Jenkins coming in. She is from Temple Baptist in White House, and she knows all about all of the VBSs because there's a ton going on, guys, and you don't want to miss out. Like I said, it's free babysitting, but with a huge bonus because they get Jesus, and that's really more important. But if you need to look at it the other way, that's okay because just get them there, right?
Love it. And some, very unique. Some will do the morning traditional, but a lot of churches have gone to evening,
Yes.
where then parents are also able to take advantage of programming. It's really kind of a spin, but cool.
All right, and I did find who my 8:00 guest is tomorrow. She is a first-time guest, Alana. Yes, the sign language teacher is going to be here at 8:00, making her debut appearance on WSGI.
I like her very much.
Yes.
She's very knowledgeable, but very approachable and a very good teacher.
Yeah, and she has a great sense of humor. So yeah, she's precious, and we're so looking forward. So if you want to meet your sign language teacher, make sure you tune in tomorrow at 8:00. But we do have 3 minutes left.
Can I close us out with red flags that listeners should not ignore? Their own, certainly those in family members, or even a coworker, someone that is in your circle. Encourage people to seek help if they notice a persistent sadness, withdrawal from others, changes in sleep and appetite, sense of hopelessness, panic attacks, increased alcohol or substance use, loss of interest, literally in life, thoughts of self-harm. And those run on a continuum. We talk about them very openly. You can have a passive sense of, gosh, life is hard, it's painful, rapture practice on the front lawn, everybody, to, literally the plan making, and it is a continuum, and we explore where are you on it, and, make appropriate interventions. So it is not to not be talked about. Not talking about it does not help. Talking about it does not push a person toward an act or action thereof. And that's kind of maybe a misnomer that I would really want to stress. Reminding people about the health councils, whether you walk or run, just keep going. 5K in September. Sign up link I will post to the Facebook page. $12.79. You get a cool T-shirt, and supporting an awesome cause that we'll be joining at the fairgrounds as a group beforehand. Lots of resources available.
And one other resource I do want to mention is Shannon Baumgartner, because when you're talking about those people in your life or yourself, whatever, there's always the intercessory prayer that she has through Wellspring Ministries. So that is so good to be praying for people, because when you do see them going through this stuff, you need that. Exactly. I mean, so many people many of us do not act like we are in a spiritual war. Spiritual war, you can't see what's going on, in that realm. But there's a lot that you can pray against, and you can stop that, and you can break those strongholds. So make sure that you are also praying that. And like I said, Shannon has a wonderful thing called intercessory prayer, praying for that person's blinders to come off their eyes. And, so get a hold of that, because it's really good too. It's great that we have both Shannon and Rhonda, at our fingertips, because they have so much great information that can help you all. One last thing I do want to mention, because this is coming up the first Wednesday of June, and that is Julie Ann. She is a wonderful dance teacher. She actually danced professionally in New York for 8 years. And she is going to be doing a teen dance troupe this summer. And I would love to see just a whole bunch of kids in this. So it's going to be Wednesdays and Fridays, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. You can do 1 month, which is 9 classes, or you can do 2 months, which is 18 classes. So 1 month with the 9 classes is $150. $275 is if you do both months. So obviously you get a break if you sign up for both months. But what a great opportunity to not only just like learn choreography and, have great exercise, but also make friends, increase your strength, flexibility, develop discipline. And so this is just great. She is going to be doing all types of dance. She's going to see who's in class and then talk with them, because she knows jazz and creative and lyrical and modern and line dancing. She knows it all. This is going to be at Well in the Square in the big ballroom, 600 South Main Street. To register, you want to contact Julianne. Her phone number is 615-993-7181. Again, that's 615-993-7181. Or you can email her at praisedancespringfield@gmail.com. Again, that's praisedancespringfield@gmail.com. And then also, she is going to be using contemporary Christian music, which is really great, because some of the dance studios that you see out there, I feel, and she felt the same way, is that some of the music is inappropriate and some of the dress is inappropriate. So this will not be any of that. This will be very good and just real positive all the way around. So again, this is for ages 12 to 18. Of course, if someone's 11 or 20, I know she's not going to kick you out. So again, this is going to be every Wednesday and every Friday in June and July, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. So get a hold of that. I'm going to post that on my Facebook page as well. All right, it is 8:01, which means the show is over. Thank you so much, Rhonda Rastelli, for coming on.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
And thanks for, I know you're going to put that stuff in the comment section.
Yes.
So look for the comment section. And guys, remember to please share this show. That's the only way we get it out there. So you've been listening to 1100 WSGI. This has been Lee Marie in for U-Turn Laverne. I hope you guys all have a blessed day. And I will see you all tomorrow, because it is the Go Show. God bless.
One street